Do you know when you get one of those days where what you really want from your television entertainment in the evening is a jape, a laugh a minute type run around where you get weird aliens and silly jokes and you end up snorting like that? That's not what we got tonight, okay? That is not what we got tonight with Day of Reckoning. However, criticising Terra Nation for not being a merry japester, it's kind of like telling a cow not to moo or getting wound up with Michael Gove for looking like a cross between Pob and Jack from Will and Grace, apart from more evil. If you don't know who Michael Gove is, I suggest you go and get a picture from him off the internet. What we did get is perhaps the classiest episode of Doctor Who so far, from a very classy story so far. Everything is turned up to 10, and that includes the quality of the production generally. The shots of London, the location shooting in this, which was already great, in this episode is phenomenal. The chases with Barbara and Jenny and Dortmund running with the wheelchair across the bridges, to the really loud incidental music, the deserted cityscape of London, which these days a deserted cityscape is a trope, pretty much, isn't it? It's a commonplace thing that we do to signify that things aren't quite right. But 1964, I don't know if anything had ever done something where you saw London without hordes of people, and the only normality is a pigeon. So all that stuff's absolutely top notch. Ian trapped upon the Dalek spaceship and running into the guy that was in the cell before, whose name escapes me right now, who's been turned to a Roboman, and then with his new mate mercilessly killing the guy he met before and dropping him out of the spaceship. I mean, there is something very nasty about Terry Nation, and it only really works when I think the programme takes it seriously enough. That's not a criticism of Doctor Who. And in this case, it's not a criticism of Terra Nation. Okay, this is a top-notch story. The stuff with the Doctor and Susan and David is great. We actually get some depth to Susan with the growing relationship between her and David, and I was delighted that the good lady Dr. Collins picked up on it. I was really chuffed at that because I've not let on, and she's not been watching these vids, so I can only presume that she hasn't got an inkling of what's coming. I hope she doesn't watch this one because I don't want to let it on. But by the by, that was great. That was great. You know, and not we, as I've heard them refer to, as she'd be offended by that. Somebody who isn't as versed in Doctor Who as I am, for her to pick up on that, not only indicates that she's watching it and enjoying it, but also indicates that whilst not being signposted, because she's not said, she would say, but is obviously working. That's absolutely top banana. And to be honest, that's apart from the cliffhanger with a bomb doing some very odd noises and the camera. You know, in any other First Doctor story, that we'd pass that off as an acceptable cliffhanger. But the fact that everything else in this story is so pitch perfect, when something like that happens, you sit there going, "Oh, is the bomb going to explode?" Would suggest that was a drop in form. So anyway, Dark Invasion of Earth is continuing to be an absolutely monstrously fine story. Just a thought that I was contemplating while wandering around doing my pre-bedtime jobs. I think that whether through chance or by design, the fact that we had Planet of the Giants before this story is a bit of a masterstroke, because both are set on Earth. Both, as a Doctor Who story, takes Earth and makes it uncomfortable. But even with Planet of the Giants, with the whole Barbara thing, being infected, with the whole minuscule thing, obviously, felt a damn sight more comfortable than this. And yet here we are in London. Everybody's the same size. Yes, we're in a different time, but it's made because of the circumstances of the story, but by the way that it has been done, by all aspects of the production, it feels so deeply uncomfortable. It really feels uncomfortable and difficult and fun in a way that Doctor Who isn't often. It's unrelenting. There's a point where a guy who we've grown to like, who rescues the Doctor, says, "Oh, I'm going to make it over to Cornwall or wherever he's going." And David gives him a hip flask and says, "Go on, you'll need that. Go on." Within seconds, he's dead. It's a completely pointless death, apart from to emphasise the fact that things are not good here. This is heavy, heavy stakes, and I think I may be cribbing from Philip Sandifer. You kind of feel when the stakes are so high, there's going to have to be a sacrifice, and that ties back to David and Susan. And yeah, this is top notch Doctor Who. It really, really is good stuff. And there we go. I don't know when the next of these videos will be. Life is proving to be very difficult. If for the 4 people, 2 for the half a person that's watching them, if there's a break in transmission, I do apologise. Rest assured, though, the project continues, and it's got nothing to do with the recently announced reanimations of both the 10 Planet and Ice Warriors. Nothing to do with that at all. It would be very nice if they were released in time. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Dark Invasion of Earth, quality. Bye bye.